Life can feel overwhelming, right? The stress, the chaos, the never-ending demands. But what if I told you that none of it has to affect you anymore? Today, we're diving into 12 powerful Stoic principles, timeless wisdom that has been guiding people through life's toughest moments for thousands of years. These principles aren't just ancient ideas. They are practical tools that you can start using today to navigate the stresses and storms of life with calm and confidence. You'll learn how to reclaim your peace and become unshakable no matter what life throws your way. But before we get started, let me ask you, are you ready to stop feeling like life is pulling you in every direction? Because the insights you're about to discover can change the way you handle every challenge life throws at you. Don't miss the chance to hit subscribe now and make sure you're equipped with the tools to master your mind and emotions. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's get real. It's Monday morning. Traffic is at a standstill. You're late for a meeting and your phone is blowing up with notifications, emails, texts, reminders, each one demanding your attention. The pressure is building. That familiar anxiety starts creeping in, tightening in your chest. You feel it, don't you? It's like everything is spinning out of control. And no matter how hard you try, the chaos just keeps piling up. Why do we let moments like this have so much power over us? Why do we give external circumstances, traffic jams, deadlines, endless to-do lists, the ability to rob us of our inner peace? It's as if we're on autopilot, reacting to everything around us, forgetting that there's a calm within us that we can tap into at any time. But here's the truth. Life will never stop being unpredictable. There will always be another meeting, another deadline, another moment when you feel overwhelmed by demands. But what if those moments didn't have to control you? What if, no matter what chaos surrounds you, you could stay centered, unshaken, and fully in control of your emotions and mind? That's not a fantasy, it's real, and it's possible for you, starting right now. We begin with a fundamental Stoic principle, focusing on what you can control. This is the key to staying grounded and composed even when life feels chaotic. It acts as your compass, guiding you back to clarity and strength. Life throws us challenges, sometimes big, sometimes small, but they all have a way of adding up. It's easy to feel like you're constantly reacting, being pulled in every direction. But what if you had a set of tools to help you stay grounded no matter what's happening? That's what these 12 Stoic principles offer. Practical strategies to take back control of your emotions and mindset. Whether it's handling daily stress or overcoming life's bigger hurdles, these timeless lessons will help you stay calm, focused. Let's dive in and see how these principles can help you take control, act with intention, and handle life's challenges with confidence. Principle 1. Focus on what you can control. Master your mindset. Ever feel like life is spinning out of control, with everything piling up and no way to stop it? We've all been there, stuck in traffic, facing a missed deadline, or juggling way too much. But here's the good news. You can change how you handle all of it by focusing on what you can control. For me, there was a time when everything felt overwhelming. I'd be drowning in things I couldn't change, things like the weather, other people's behavior, or sudden work changes. I was exhausted. But one day, I had a realization. Why was I wasting my energy on things beyond my control? That's when I made a decision to start focusing on the things I could actually influence. It was a simple mindset shift, but it changed everything. Take my mornings, for example. I can't predict how the day will unfold, but I can control how I start it. Now, I get up early, brew a good cup of coffee, and tidy up my workspace. It's such a small habit, but it gives me a sense of control over the day. Have you ever noticed how much clearer your mind feels when your space is neat and organized? It's like clearing your surroundings clears your head too. What about your health? There are so many things we can't control in life, but I realized I could control how I take care of my body and mind. That's why I made jogging a morning routine. It's not about being the fittest, it's about feeling capable, strong, and confident in my own skin. Starting the day with that sense of accomplishment sets a positive tone for everything else. But the biggest change came when I embraced a growth mindset. We all hit obstacles, right? It's easy to get stuck on failures, but what if failure wasn't the end? What if it was just a stepping stone? I stopped letting setbacks define me. Instead, I began to see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Have you ever faced a setback and let it stop you in your tracks? Imagine what would happen if you saw it as a chance to get better instead of something to avoid. Mastering your mindset begins with this simple question: what part of this can I control? When life throws you a curveball, pause and ask yourself that. It's a powerful shift, moving from helplessness to action. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew it wasn't the events themselves that caused us stress, but how we perceive them. And when you focus on what's in your control, you regain power over your life. At work, I can't control the company's decisions or the economy, but I can control my work ethic and how I show up. In relationships, I can't control how others act, but I can control my response and how I choose to move forward. The more I started focusing on what I could influence, the more my stress began to fade. I stopped trying to control everything around me and instead took charge of my mindset, my actions, and my space. It's not just about recognizing what you can control, it's about acting on it. Start small, like organizing your desk or committing to a morning walk. These little actions give you back a sense of power. What's one small change you could make today? This doesn't just change how you handle daily stress, it rewires your brain. Science backs this up. When we feel in control, the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making, gets activated, helping us think more clearly and manage emotions better. But when we focus on things we can't control, our brain goes into stress mode, making it harder to stay focused and calm. The best part? Through consistent action, you can rewire your brain to become more resilient. So here's the challenge. Make a list of what's within your control and what isn't. Focus on the things you can act on, no matter how small. Life isn't about controlling everything. It's about learning how to adjust, how to ride the waves, and how to focus on what truly matters. You might not be able to control the wind, but you can always adjust your sails, and that's where your true power lies. Principle 2. Shift from reaction to mastery. Take charge of your emotions. Ever find yourself reacting in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? We've all been there. Those moments where frustration or anger gets the best of us, and we say or do something that doesn't reflect who we truly are. But what if you could turn that split-second reaction into a moment of power? The key to this transformation is mastering your emotions, learning how to pause, reflect, and then act with intention, rather than reacting impulsively. Here's a personal story. I used to be someone who reacted instantly, especially when things didn't go as planned. I remember one argument with a close friend that could have easily spiraled out of control. My first instinct was to lash out, but in that moment, something told me to pause. I took a deep breath and thought, what's really going on here? Why is this happening? That split-second decision to stop and reflect made all the difference. Instead of escalating things, I chose empathy. That simple pause didn't just save the friendship. It shifted how I handle conflict ever since. What about you? Think about a time when you reacted out of frustration. How would things have turned out if you had taken just a few seconds to pause and breathe? When you shift from reaction to response, you take back control. Reacting is automatic, driven by emotions like anger or stress, but responding requires a pause, a chance to step back, assess the situation, and decide how you want to act. This pause is where the real power lies. It allows you to respond in a way that aligns with your values, rather than being at the mercy of your emotions. Here's the thing. Emotions are incredibly powerful. They can either push us forward or pull us down. Mastering your emotions isn't about ignoring them or pushing them aside. It's about understanding them, channeling them, and using them as tools for growth. It's like building muscle. Every time you pause before reacting, you strengthen your ability to stay in control, even in stressful situations. Let me ask you this. How many times have you let a single moment of frustration ruin an entire day? What would happen if next time, instead of reacting in the heat of the moment, you took a deep breath and paused? Next time you feel overwhelmed, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, what's really going on here? That pause gives you the clarity to choose your response instead of letting your emotions take over. Mastering your emotions is a practice. It takes time, but every small step gets you closer to being the person you want to be. It's like training for a marathon. With each step, you get stronger, and before you know it, you'll find yourself more in control of your emotional responses even in life's most chaotic moments. Here's another personal example. One time at work, I was dealing with a huge project that was falling apart at the last minute. My first instinct was panic, but I stopped myself, took a deep breath and asked, what part of this can I control? By simply pausing, I was able to see the situation clearly, regain my composure, and focus on solutions rather than stressing about the things I couldn't change. That moment of calm completely shifted the outcome of the situation. Mindfulness is one of the most effective tools for mastering your emotions. It's all about recognizing your emotional triggers before they take over. Simple things like focusing on your breath, noticing how your body feels, or even stepping away from a stressful situation for a moment can make all the difference. Each time you practice mindfulness, you get better at it. And with each practice, you're not just learning to control your emotions, you're becoming stronger, more resilient, and more in charge of your life. Remember, you don't have to suppress your emotions to master them. In fact, emotional mastery is about acknowledging your feelings, understanding why they're there, and then deciding how to use them constructively. When you can channel your emotions into intentional action, you not only take control of yourself, but you influence the world around you. In the end, this principle isn't about eliminating emotions. It's about taking charge of how they affect you. By learning to pause and reflect before reacting, you build emotional resilience. And emotional resilience is what keeps you grounded, no matter how intense the storm. So here's the challenge. The next time you're triggered or feel your emotions rising, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what's really happening here? Is it worth reacting over, or can I respond with purpose and intention? The more you practice this, the better you get. And trust me, it's worth it. Principle 3. Welcome discomfort as a teacher. Embrace the growth it brings. Discomfort is something we instinctively try to sidestep. It feels unsettling, like walking into a room where the air is thick with tension, or facing a challenge that feels just beyond our reach. But here's the truth. Discomfort isn't our enemy. It's actually the very space where transformation begins. Growth doesn't come from staying where things are easy. It comes from pushing ourselves beyond what feels safe. Imagine this: a runner training for a marathon. Every mile they run takes more effort, more mental toughness, and more physical endurance than the last. Their muscles ache, their breath comes harder, but every step forward is progress. It's not the easy, comfortable miles that shape them. It's the painful, difficult ones that truly build their strength. Life works the same way. Each moment of discomfort we face, whether it's a difficult conversation, a new challenge, or stepping into the unknown, is an opportunity to stretch ourselves and grow in ways we never thought possible. There was a time in my life when I avoided anything that felt risky at work. I stuck to what I knew, what I was good at, because failing felt too scary. But the thing is, I wasn't growing. I was playing small, staying within the confines of what was familiar. Then, one day, something clicked. I realized that growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when we lean into the discomfort, when we take on challenges that make us uncomfortable because they're stretching us to become more. So, I took a deep breath and started saying yes to the tough tasks. I volunteered for projects that felt way outside my wheelhouse. I pushed myself to learn new skills, to face the fear of failure head on. And you know what? I did fail sometimes. But I also learned, adapted, and grew in ways I hadn't imagined. The confidence I gained from embracing discomfort was far greater than any fear I had. Now it's your turn to reflect. When was the last time you leaned into discomfort instead of avoiding it? What's one small step you can take today that pushes you beyond your usual boundaries? It doesn't have to be a giant leap. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, taking on a new responsibility, or even just having that tough conversation you've been putting off. Whatever it is, remember this. Every step into discomfort is a step toward growth. Each time you challenge yourself, you're becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you were before. Embrace it, because that's where the magic happens. Principle 4. Practice gratitude daily. Turn scarcity into abundance. In today's fast-paced world, where we're constantly bombarded with messages that we need more success, more money, more possessions, it's easy to feel like we're never enough. I used to think that way too, always trying to keep up, like pouring water into a cup with no bottom. No matter how much I had, it never felt like it was enough. But then I realized, the issue wasn't how much I was pouring in, the issue was the cup itself. It's easy to get caught in that mindset, especially with social media and constant comparisons. We see people with bigger homes, better jobs, or picture-perfect lives, and it can feel like we're falling behind. But I started asking myself, what if the problem isn't what I'm lacking, but what I'm not seeing? That's when I discovered the transformative power of gratitude. It was like flipping a switch. Instead of focusing on what was missing, I started seeing all the little things I had overlooked, things that were already bringing joy and richness into my life. It wasn't the grand moments that changed my perspective. It was the warmth of my coffee on a quiet morning or the sound of laughter from someone I love. There was a time when I was caught in the loop of more. I thought the next promotion, the next car, or the bigger house would make me feel complete. But the truth was, no matter how much I achieved or acquired, it didn't fill the gap. I was so focused on what I didn't have that I forgot to notice all the good things around me. I realized I was living in a scarcity mindset, always chasing, never pausing. Then something changed. I started keeping a gratitude journal. At first it felt odd, like I was forcing it. But each morning, I made myself write down 3 things I was thankful for, no matter how small. Over time, it didn't feel forced anymore. It felt natural. Suddenly, the things I once took for granted became the highlights of my day. The way the sunlight filtered through my window in the early morning, the feeling of calm before the world woke up, or the joy my dog brought into my life. That's when I learned a powerful lesson. Abundance isn't about wealth or material success. True abundance comes from recognizing the value in what we already have. It's not about having more, it's about seeing more. Practicing gratitude daily changed everything. It wasn't just a temporary feel-good exercise. It rewired the way I saw the world. And here's the thing, gratitude is contagious. The more I appreciated the little moments in my life, the more I noticed others around me starting to do the same. It was like a ripple effect. I shared my gratitude with friends, family, even colleagues, and it sparked something in them too. Suddenly, small acts of appreciation were popping up everywhere, turning ordinary moments into something truly meaningful. So, how can you start? It's simple but profound. Try writing down 3 things each day that you're grateful for. They don't have to be big, life-changing moments. Sometimes it's the little things that matter the most. Maybe it's the way your child laughs, or how your favorite song comes on the radio just when you need it. Over time, this practice rewires your brain. You start focusing on what's good in your life, instead of what's missing. Gratitude isn't just a passing emotion, it's a way of life. It's about shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance. It's about embracing the idea that right now, you already have enough. The fullness of life doesn't come from the endless pursuit of what's next. It comes from appreciating what's here now. That's not to say life is perfect. Gratitude doesn't ignore challenges. It helps you find the light in the midst of them. Even on the toughest days, when everything feels heavy, gratitude reminds you that there's still something good, a lesson learned, a friend's support, or simply the fact that you made it through another day. In a society that's constantly pushing us to chase more, practicing gratitude is almost an act of rebellion. It's about choosing to say, I have enough, I am enough. And with that mindset, you'll start to see that life is richer than you ever imagined. So today, I challenge you to take a moment to reflect. What are 3 things you're grateful for? They don't have to be huge. Sometimes it's the smallest things that mean the most. As you start this habit, you'll notice something amazing. Your perspective will shift. Life, even in its simplest moments, is full of abundance. Gratitude turns scarcity into abundance. It brings joy, peace, and a deeper contentment into your life. So why not make it a daily practice? You might be surprised at just how much you already have. Principle 5. Flow with life's changes. Don't resist the current. Life is an ever-flowing river, ceaselessly moving and shifting, carrying us through a landscape of experiences. Each bend in the river brings new sights and possibilities, yet it's natural to resist the current. I remember a time when I faced a significant change, transitioning from a stable job to pursuing a passion that felt uncertain. It was terrifying. I clung to the security of my routine like a rock in the middle of that river, terrified of being swept away by the unknown. But what if I had embraced the flow from the beginning? What if I had viewed that change not as a threat but as an invitation? Every twist and turn in our life's journey is an opportunity waiting to unfold, a new chapter waiting to be written. Consider the words of Maya Angelou. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Reflecting on this, I realized that embracing change allowed my creativity to flourish. When I finally let go of my fears, I found a new path filled with ideas and experiences that enriched my life in ways I had never anticipated. Now, think about your own life. When was the last time you resisted change? Maybe it was a job loss, a relationship that ended, or a move to a new city. How did you feel in that moment? Did you cling to the past, wishing things could go back to the way they were? What if instead, you had chosen to see that change as an opportunity for growth? Each of us has had moments that felt like the end of the world. I recall when I faced my job loss, it felt like the ground had shifted beneath me. Yet as I began to look for silver linings, I found supportive friends, a chance to explore new opportunities, and ultimately a deeper understanding of my strengths. Steve Jobs, during his famous commencement address at Stanford University, emphasized trusting that the dots will connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. What if you embraced the flow instead of resisting it? Perhaps you would discover strengths you didn't know you had, meet people who would enrich your life, or find a path that led to fulfillment you could never have imagined while clinging to the past. Life is filled with unexpected changes, and instead of resisting them, we can choose to flow with them. Change is not just a disruption, it's an evolution. As you navigate your own river of life, consider this. When you resist the current, do you miss the beauty and opportunities that come with change? Like trees bending with the wind, when we adapt to change, we become more resilient. Instead of rigidly holding on to our past or our expectations, we can learn to sway with the winds of change, allowing ourselves to grow in ways we never thought possible. So today, I encourage you to reflect on your relationship with change. Ask yourself, what changes have I resisted? What might I gain by embracing the flow? The next time you feel the urge to cling tightly to what you know, consider the possibility that letting go could lead to new adventures. Embracing change means recognizing that each moment, even the difficult ones, has the potential to lead to something greater. As you navigate the currents of life, remember that the flow is not an enemy, It's a guide showing you where to go next. Take a deep breath, let go of the rocks that weigh you down, and trust the current. Life's changes are not to be feared but celebrated. You may find that by flowing with the current, you not only survive but thrive, discovering new depths of joy and fulfillment along the way. Principle 6. Find freedom in the journey, not the destination. In our relentless pursuit of goals, whether it's a promotion, a new relationship, or a personal milestone, it's easy to forget that life is not merely a series of checkpoints to cross off. Reflecting on my own experiences, I remember when I was fixated on completing my education. I envisioned that moment of graduation as the pinnacle of achievement, believing that it would unlock a world of opportunities. However, once I walked across that stage, I found myself grappling with an unexpected emptiness. The anticipation of reaching that destination clouded my ability to appreciate the tran. The journey itself holds immense value. Imagine walking a tightrope. If you focus solely on reaching the end, your attention becomes fixated on an abstract goal rather than the steps you take to maintain balance. This principle can be applied to our daily lives. By becoming present in each moment, we unlock a deeper sense of joy and fulfillment. As Maya Angelou wisely stated, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. In this light, every interaction, every lesson learned, and every small victory becomes a crucial part of the story we are writing. Consider this. How often do we rush through life blinded by our ambitions? When was the last time you paused to savor a moment of joy or reflection? Ask yourself, what can I learn from my current experiences, regardless of the outcome? When we shift our focus to the journey, we free ourselves from the burden of expectations and discover that freedom lies not in the destination, but in the richness of our experiences. As you pursue your goals, remind yourself to celebrate the small steps. Perhaps it's the joy of learning something new, or the laughter shared with friends during challenging times. Each of these moments contributes to your growth and well-being. When we allow ourselves to be present, we find that life is not just about achieving, it's about living fully. Seven. Let your core values guide you, your unwavering North Star. Imagine sailing through a stormy sea with waves crashing all around you. Without a compass, you could easily lose your way, tossed by the winds of uncertainty. But with a clear set of core values guiding you, you can navigate even the most turbulent waters. Reflecting on my own life, I've faced times when I felt adrift, making decisions that didn't align with my principles. It wasn't until I took a step back and identified what truly mattered to me, integrity, compassion, and growth, that I found my direction again. Your core values act as your internal compass, helping you steer through life's challenges. They provide clarity when the path seems unclear. I recall a moment when I had to make a difficult choice about a job offer that promised great financial rewards, but clashed with my values of honesty and respect for others. When I aligned my decision with my core beliefs, it became clear that staying true to my values was more important than any paycheck. As you consider your own values, take time to reflect on what genuinely matters to you. What principles do you hold dear? How do they influence your decisions? These values are not just abstract concepts. They are the foundation of your character and will guide you through every challenge life presents. In the words of Viktor Frankl, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. This transformation often begins with a commitment to living in accordance with your values. By doing so, you create a sense of purpose and strength, even in the face of adversity. Reflect on your journey. Are your daily actions aligned with your core values? When challenges arise, let your values be your guiding light. Embrace the clarity they provide, and you'll find that even the toughest decisions become more manageable. As you navigate the complexities of life, let your core values illuminate your path. They will help you not only survive the storms, but also emerge from them stronger and more resolute. In this way, you'll discover that living a values-driven life enriches every moment and guides you toward a fulfilling future. Principle 8. Cultivate inner strength. Rise above external opinions. In a world buzzing with voices, friends, family, social media, and strangers, it's astonishing how quickly our self-worth can be swayed by the opinions of others. One unkind comment or a moment of criticism can tarnish our day, overshadowing the positive affirmations we hold internally. I remember a time when a casual remark from a colleague about my presentation left me feeling inadequate. Instead of shaking it off, I let it echo in my mind, overshadowing the praise I received from others. Eleanor Roosevelt once wisely said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that we have the power to shape our self-image and that it's essential to cultivate an inner strength that can withstand external judgments. The wisdom of the Stoics offers a powerful remedy for this. Opinions are just that, opinions. They are not facts. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This perspective encourages us to turn inward, focusing on the opinions we hold of ourselves rather than being swayed by external judgments. Imagine your mind as a garden. What you choose to cultivate, be it flowers or weeds, will determine the landscape of your thoughts and emotions. When we allow negative opinions to take root, they overshadow our self-esteem and self-worth. But by nurturing the flowers, our strengths, accomplishments, and values, we create a vibrant mental environment. To cultivate this inner strength, start by reflecting on your core beliefs. What do you value about yourself? Consider journaling about your positive traits or past achievements. This exercise reinforces your sense of self and diminishes the power of outside opinions. Practical exercise. Try this simple exercise. Each morning, write down 3 affirmations that highlight your strengths. For example, "I am resilient," "I am capable," or "I am worthy of love." Repeat these affirmations throughout your day, allowing them to drown out the noise of external criticism. When faced with criticism or praise, ask yourself, does this opinion really matter? This question can help you evaluate the significance of others' views in the context of your life. How often do we find ourselves impacted by the opinions of others? Reflect on your experiences. What beliefs do you hold about yourself that contradict others' opinions? The stronger your inner voice becomes, the quieter the noise of the outside world. As Brené Brown beautifully states, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both. By mastering your mind and cultivating resilience, you empower yourself to navigate life's challenges with confidence. In the end, your self-worth should not depend on others' opinions. Embrace the freedom that comes from knowing who you are and believing in your value. When you learn to master your mind, you build an impenetrable shield against the noise around you, allowing you to move through life with grace and confidence. Remember, your journey toward self-mastery is ongoing. Each step you take to cultivate your inner strength reinforces the foundation of who you are, empowering you to rise above external opinions and thrive in your unique journey. Principle 9. Forge your path. Harness the power of discipline. Imagine a sculptor meticulously chiseling away at a block of marble. Each deliberate strike reveals the beauty hidden within. This imagery perfectly encapsulates the essence of self-discipline, not merely about achieving perfection, but about embracing persistence and dedication. Each chip of marble represents a step taken toward realizing your potential. Reflecting on my journey, I vividly remember training for a marathon. The early mornings were tough. Every fiber of my being screamed for the comfort of my warm bed. Yet each time I chose to lace up my running shoes, I wasn't just sculpting my physical form, I was forging my willpower. This experience taught me that discipline is not a switch you flip. It's a habit you cultivate day by day, step by step. James Clear, in his best-selling book Atomic Habits, reminds us, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This insight underscores the importance of establishing practical habits that support our ambitions. When you commit to small, consistent actions, like setting aside time each day to practice a skill or tackle a project, you build a robust foundation for long-term success. Consider this. What small changes can you implement today that align with your goals? Perhaps it's dedicating 10 minutes each morning to read, journaling your thoughts, or committing to a short daily workout. Each disciplined choice, no matter how minor, contributes to your growth and transformation. Take a moment to reflect. What are the habits that serve your goals and which ones detract from your progress? This awareness is the first step toward creating a life of intention and purpose. Discipline is not about rigidly following strict rules. It's about creating a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. Tony Robbins eloquently states, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible." This process of turning dreams into reality requires consistent effort and self-discipline. It's the commitment to show up day after day, even when motivation wanes. I've witnessed the transformative power of discipline in the lives of others as well. Consider the story of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who attributes much of his success to his relentless work ethic and disciplined lifestyle. He often shares that his early mornings are filled with workouts before most people wake up, a testament to how discipline shapes his path to success. As you forge your path through self-discipline, remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. Each small action you take builds momentum, revealing not only your capabilities, but also the strength and resilience within you. In conclusion, embrace the process of sculpting your life with intention. By harnessing the power of discipline, you are not just inching closer to your aspirations, you are uncovering the masterpiece that lies within. Stay committed, remain patient, and trust that each disciplined step you take shapes the extraordinary life you envision. Principle 10. Reflect on death to fully live. Memento mori. Imagine holding a sand timer in your hand, watching as each grain of sand slips through your fingers. Each grain represents moments in your life, finite yet precious. This imagery serves as a powerful reminder of the transient nature of our existence. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth. They didn't fear death, but saw it as an integral part of life. Reflecting on mortality isn't morbid, it's a way to enrich our lives. Reflecting on death can be uncomfortable, yet it is incredibly liberating. When you acknowledge that your time is limited, you begin to appreciate the value of every single day. This realization pushes you to live with purpose and intention. The ancient Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." By recognizing the finite nature of our existence, we become motivated to make meaningful choices, transforming ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. How often do we find ourselves trapped in routines, waiting for that elusive someday to pursue our dreams? I've been there, stuck in a job I didn't love, telling myself that I would make a change once I had more time. But what if someday never comes? This thought can be unsettling, yet it can also serve as a catalyst for change. Take a moment to think about what truly matters to you. Is it spending time with family, chasing a passion, or simply savoring quiet mornings with a cup of coffee? Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, famously wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose." Let this understanding guide your decisions. The essence of Memento Mori is about prioritizing what truly matters. Start living your best life now, don't postpone it. Every grain of sand that slips away is an opportunity to experience joy, connection, and fulfillment. Consider creating a list of things you've always wanted to do. Whether it's taking that trip you've dreamed about, reconnecting with an old friend, or trying a new hobby, start making those plans a reality. Additionally, practice gratitude regularly. Keeping a gratitude journal can help you focus on the positive aspects of your life, reinforcing your appreciation for the present moment. Each entry serves as a reminder of the richness in your life, making it easier to prioritize what matters most. Ultimately, reflecting on death encourages us to live authentically and intentionally. It's a call to embrace the fleeting nature of our lives and to find meaning in every moment. As we recognize the value of our time, we empower ourselves to make choices that align with our true selves. By adopting the mindset of memento mori, we can transform our fears into fuel for living fully. Remember, every moment is a gift. Cherish it.
Principle 11. Live in the present. Don't worry about the past or future. In our fast-paced lives, it's all too easy to get lost in thoughts of the past or worries about the future. Many of us find ourselves dwelling on what has already happened or fretting about what's yet to come. However, the reality is that the past is behind us, and the future remains unwritten. The only moment that truly exists is now. Living in the present is essential for finding inner peace. Whenever you notice your mind drifting toward what-ifs or should-haves, gently guide yourself back to the here and now. Picture yourself sitting on a park bench, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, and hearing the laughter of children nearby. This moment is a gift, a reminder that life unfolds in the present. Practicing mindfulness can help cultivate this awareness. Research has shown that mindfulness reduces stress, improves focus, and enhances overall well-being. Simple techniques, such as concentrating on your breath or observing the sensations around you, can anchor you in the present. When I take a moment to breathe deeply and appreciate my surroundings, I feel more connected and grounded. Reflective questions can deepen your engagement with the moment. What do you notice about your environment right now? What sensations are you experiencing in your body? What are you grateful for in this instant? Asking these questions helps redirect your focus, pulling you away from past regrets or future anxieties. It's natural to carry regrets from yesterday and fears about tomorrow. However, fixating on these feelings changes nothing. Instead, acknowledge them and then let them go. Embrace the notion that every day is a new opportunity. To fully embrace the present, consider implementing a few practical steps. Create mindfulness rituals by incorporating short practices into your daily routine. Whether it's a few minutes of meditation or a mindful walk, these rituals help center your thoughts. Limit multitasking. Focus on one task at a time, savoring each experience. When you eat, truly enjoy every bite. When you're with friends, engage fully in the conversation. Consider also setting aside time to unplug from technology. This disconnection allows you to reconnect with your surroundings and the people around you. At the end of each day, reflect on 3 things you appreciated. This habit fosters positivity and reinforces your connection to the present. Living in the present ultimately means finding joy in the here and now. It's a conscious choice to engage with life as it unfolds, letting go of what cannot be changed and embracing every moment. Each second spent worrying about the past or future is a second lost to living fully. As you navigate your days, remember that every moment is a gift. Embrace the present, for it is where life truly happens. So, what will you do today to embrace the present? Take a moment to breathe, look around, and truly experience your surroundings. This is where you can find peace and joy, and where life truly unfolds.
Principle 12. Let actions speak louder than words. Turn thoughts into reality. Talking about change is easy. It's a breeze to voice our desires and dreams. We can sit around discussing what we want to achieve, how we plan to make a difference, and all the wonderful things we'll do someday. But here's the reality. The magic happens when we transform those words into action. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy for idle reflection. It's a call to action. You can read every self-help book out there, but if you don't put those ideas into practice, they're just words on a page. I remember a time when I was stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every decision and feeling overwhelmed by choices. I had all these grand ideas about what I wanted to accomplish, but the more I thought about them, the more paralyzed I became. It was only when I decided to take a small step forward, a decision, a conversation, or even just an action like writing down my goals, that I began to see real growth. Each step, no matter how small, builds momentum. The truth is, you have the power to change your life, but it starts with action. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions. Start today. Identify one action you can take that aligns with your values and goals. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been putting off, starting a project you've dreamt about, or dedicating time to a hobby you love. It's in these actions that transformation occurs. Consider this. Talk is cheap. It's a phrase we've all heard, but its meaning rings true. The world doesn't need more words. It needs people who are willing to show up and act. Your actions will speak louder than any promise or plan you could ever articulate. They carve a path toward the life you desire, demonstrating your commitment and determination. Think about someone you admire, perhaps a friend, family member, or a public figure. What sets them apart? More often than not, it's their ability to take action, to turn thoughts into reality, and to persist through challenges. They don't just dream, they do. In this moment, ask yourself, what's holding you back? Fear of failure? Doubt? The belief that you're not ready? Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them paralyze you. Instead, use them as fuel to propel yourself forward. Imagine the satisfaction of looking back on your journey and realizing that every small step you took led to significant change. It's not about making massive leaps. It's about the consistency of action. So go ahead, take that first step. Whether it's today or tomorrow, just start. By allowing your actions to reflect your intentions, you create a life filled with purpose and authenticity. You'll find that the more you act, the clearer your path becomes. Each action strengthens your resolve and brings you closer to the life you envision. Remember, it's in the doing that transformation takes place. Embrace the journey and let your actions speak for you. The life you desire is waiting for you to take the first step. As you embark on this journey of integrating Stoic principles into your life, remember that each day is a new opportunity to cultivate resilience and purpose. The tools of Stoicism are not just theoretical, they are actionable steps you can take right now to transform your everyday experiences. Imagine facing life's challenges with unwavering strength, knowing you have the mindset to navigate any storm. Each reflection, each moment of mindfulness, and each commitment to action brings you closer to the life you desire. One filled with clarity, confidence, and inner peace. So don't just stand on the sidelines, dive in. Start today, and take that first small step toward embodying these principles. And if you want to keep this momentum going, join our community by subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll gain access to deeper insights into Stoic wisdom, valuable tips, and a supportive network of like-minded individuals. Together, we'll explore these ideas and uplift one another on this transformative journey. Your life is a canvas waiting for your brushstrokes. Make the choice to paint it with intention and strength. The real magic of Stoicism lies in its application. Let's make every moment count. Hit that subscribe button now, and let's walk this path of purpose and resilience together.